Welcome to this video about bidding for European Space Agency contracts. My name is Kelly Instraw from KI Bid Consulting, bringing you this video on behalf of Space Estonia. You may be used to bidding for work with commercial and institutional customers across various industries or sectors. Whilst the bidding processes you will have followed will have similarities with the ESA process, it is important to understand the ESA way of bidding as it differs in a few key ways. ESA is a large intergovernmental organisation acting on behalf of its 23 member states, of which Estonia is one. It is bound by its founding treaty called the Convention and by the set of rules and regulations emanating from it. These rules and regulations have been agreed with all member states and are non-negotiable on individual bids. Acceptance of the terms and conditions is a prerequisite for doing business with ESA. The procurement process is very formal and all aspects are formally documented in each tender. Tender documents are very prescriptive, evaluation criteria are clearly set out, and tender evaluations follow a very clearly defined process. ESA expects bidders to provide detailed proposals responding carefully to the specific tender. Generic brochure material that is not specific to the opportunity will not score highly. Transparency is key, and you will be expected to provide a high level of detail in your proposal, including for your pricing. ESA expects evidence in your proposal demonstrating your understanding and expertise of the subject. Eligibility to bid for ESA contracts falls into two categories: general eligibility for you as a business to bid for ESA work, and bid-specific eligibility. In order to meet the general eligibility requirements, you must be part of a member state. In this case, be a business registered in and operating out of Estonia. You must also have registered your business on the ESA tendering portal called ESA Star. There are two types of registration, light and full. To submit a tender, a light registration is required, but to be awarded a contract, you will need to complete the full registration. If you are a small or medium-sized enterprise or SME, be sure to register as this when you register on ESA Star, as there are SME benefits. You must have the required professional and technical competencies and resources to do the work, and comply with the rules around bankruptcy, misconduct, and so on. The full list of eligibility criteria can be found on the ESA Star website. The bid-specific eligibility requirements will depend on each particular opportunity and will be set out in the tender documents. This could include, for example, a bid only being open to bidders from certain countries, require a certain amount of participation from SMEs, or require a letter of support from the Estonian national delegation. A letter of support is a mandatory requirement for some ESA funding lines. This must be issued by the Estonian national delegation and included in your bid submission. Not all tenders require one, and the tender documents will tell you if one is needed. If you require a letter of support, follow these steps. If you are new to bidding for ESA work, ensure you have completed the nationality self-assessment check. Contact Space Estonia for the Excel file and help if required. Then download the letter of support template from the Space Estonia webpage. Submit your nationality self-assessment, if you have done one, and your letter of support request to Space Estonia. Submit your request as early as possible to ensure you receive your letter of support before the bid deadline. You can find the letter of support application for ESA programs on the Space Estonia website, here. When bidding for ESA work, it will most likely be in the form of an invitation to tender, an ITT, or a call for proposal. The difference between ITTs and calls for proposals is that ITTs include requirements set by ESA, which you need to state compliance to. A call for proposal is different in that it does not include requirements set by ESA, you define your own. You have on average 4 to 6 weeks to respond to an ITT or call for proposal. ESA's tendering platform, ESA Star, is used for the vast majority of tenders into ESA. However, ideas for early technology developments are typically submitted through another platform called Open Space Innovation Platform, or OSIP. Most bids will consist of a cover letter, which must be signed, a detailed proposal broken out into 4 sections covering technical, management, financial, and contractual parts, CVs are generally required for key individuals, and most bids will require you to complete ESA's finance forms. You will need to include inputs from your subcontractors. You must read the tender carefully. It will tell you what to include. Pay particular attention to the bid deadline and maximum budget. Late submission or exceeded budget are likely to result in elimination from the bid. For further information about ESA, the funding lines, the ESA bidding process, how to decipher an ESA tender, and how to write your bid response, take a look at this guide. It contains information, checklists, helpful tips, and examples to help you with your ESA bid. It can be downloaded from the Space Estonia website, here. Thank you for watching this video.